Hi, this is Soni.
Hi, this is Bhagyashree.
Hi, this is Hiten Tejwani.
Hi, this is Aditi Govitrikar.
Hi, this is Gunjan Kuthiala.
And you're watching
Awesome TV.
One element about the grey character that attracted you.
I wanted to play something other than Suman. People remember me only as Suman, whether it's real life or real life.
Me, I was so impatient, and now that she has started yoga and all, now she's improvised and she says.
भाई योगा तुम्हें करने की जरूरत है, मेरा तो योगा है ऑलरेडी.
ये तो योग में जीते हैं.
He is attained moksha.
Hello, hi, and welcome to Bollywood Gupshup with Pooja Navati. And today on my show, I have with me the team of NRI Wives. Hello, hi, and welcome to Awesome TV.
Hi, thank
I
you.
watched the trailer, and trailer looks simply awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
content is very refreshing, and talking about the grey characters. These days, more than the lead characters, the discussion is more around grey characters. It's very edgy and attractive. So tell me, what was that one thing, one element about the grey character that attracted you to pick up the script?
I wanted to play something other than Suman. People remember me only as Suman, whether it's real life or real life. मतलब सब ये कहते हैं कि सुमन जैसे पत्नी चाहिए, सुमन जैसे बहू चाहिए, सुमन जैसे बेटी चाहिए. So I think it's good that Gunjan thought of something very, very different.
And I think playing grey characters is always much more fun.
Okay.
I mean, that because the challenge lies in you're doing something which is ethically, morally perhaps not correct, but you still want to justify it. And that is the test. If you're playing all goody two shoes, that can get boring. And that's why people like that edgy stuff now, because they were fed up of that.
And frankly, no character or no person, no human being is black and white. Life is not black and white. There are so many shades of grey in everybody's lives. It's what is portrayed, right? Therein lies the judgment of the society. This is the main lead, he or she cannot be bad. But that's not real life. That is not how things pan out in life.
Yeah, in fact, so many films have been made where the protagonist is actually the villain of the story.
Yeah.
Right? So, stories which are different are what the audience gets attracted to. So, I would say NRI Wives are different stories. You haven't heard this story before. And credit goes to Gunjan as the writer.
Real life inspired stories, relatable stories. हर कोई कहीं ना कहीं चार कहानियां हैं. तो चार कहानियों का गुच्छा है. आप किसी ना किसी कहानी में अपने आप को थोड़ा बहुत देख पाओगे, क्योंकि कोई भी इंसान परफेक्ट नहीं होता. So yeah, that was the intent. How we wanted to show real life of NRIs. B also कि हाँ ये जो women हैं, I mean don't judge them कि ये अगर उन्हें love versus desires pursue किया या नहीं किया, regardless. Who are we to judge? अपनी responsibilities को निभाते हुए अगर अपनी ज़िंदगी से कुछ पल चुरा के जीना गलत है, तो ये क्या ये गलती मंजूर करनी चाहिए या नहीं करनी चाहिए? We have tried to show these beautiful stories with woven messages. अभी सबको लग रहा है bold है. Courageous है कहानियाँ, I would say, but आई थिंक बहुत खूबसूरत मैसेजेस हैं चारों कहानियों में.
Absolutely.
जैसे कहते हैं ना, महाभारत में जाकर आपको सब देखेंगे ये राम है, यहाँ तो ये महाभारत का नाम लग रहा है इसका फिल्म का पूरा, बट हर कैरेक्टर जो है कोई भी बुरा नहीं है इस कैरेक्टर में. दैट्स वन थिंग दैट आई ट्राई टू टेक केयर ऑफ.
Gunjan shared her take on love versus desires. I really want to know, what is your opinion when it comes to conflict between two things, love and desire?
There is no right and wrong. Actually, you'd never know till you walk in another person's shoes. It's circumstances that makes a person behave in a certain way. Who are we to pass judgment,
Correct.
on how one decides to progress in that fashion? For me, I feel I could have loved only once, which I did. हर कोई beautiful चीज़ को तो appreciate करना चाहिए. So I would say it works same for a man and a woman. हम लोगों को भी कोई शक्लें बहुत अच्छी लगती है या कोई इंसान बहुत अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन you don't cross that limit. Same goes for, I think, the men. They might find a woman very desirable and very beautiful, but if they've got a wife at home, they may not cross that limit. And they
Never.
he's just confirming.
घर वापस जाना है.
Yeah.
घर में entry चाहिए.
No, but absolutely. But what I'm saying is that you'd never know what circumstances takes a man or woman to cross that boundary, where lines between love and desire sometimes thin out or sometimes intermingle. You never know when life takes you down that road. So these stories are actually very interesting on that part. Yeah.
I'll give you a philosophical thought, because I think this love and desire is a fairly intellectual, philosophical difference. And I was just thinking about it, and I think love is what you want to be in. Desire is what you want, right? You want to own that. You want to have that. That's a desire. Love is what you want to feel, what you want to be in. So that's a profound thought. Nothing to do with the movie at all. The movie is all
But
about.
it's somehow relatable as well to this
It's
film.
related,
Yeah.
You know, Hiten, I just interviewed your wife, you know, a week back, and I asked her, you know, what's the mantra for long-lasting
Oh, let's
relationship?
hear this one.
Yeah.
Already.
She said we both are so opposite. And he is so patient with me. I was so impatient, and now that she has started yoga and all, now she's improvised, and you know, she says, "How did he deal with me? I don't know, but we are so opposite."
That's there's a saying, right? Opposite always attract, and opposite always go hand in hand. If we both are on the same or ego levels are the same, both have ego, then there are clashes. खत्म, कोई टेंशन ही नहीं. वो अलग में अलग, ये सही है ना, ठीक है सही, no problem.
यहाँ पे कोई conflict
ही नहीं है.
पूरा opposite
भाई
है.
योगा तुम्हें करने की जरूरत है, मेरा तो योगा है ऑलरेडी.
ये तो योग में जीते हैं.
He's attained moksha.
Zen mode.
Zen mode, all
No
things.
problem.
That's your mantra. Aditi, over to you. Do you want to add something to it? Love versus desire.
So I think that it is not love versus desire. I would think of it as a diagram, which is like a Venn diagram. तो दो circle है जो overlap होते हैं. In some relationships, love and desire fall in that overlap, and in some it doesn't. So like I said, that life is grey. Relationships are great. So sometimes love exists, but there is no desire. Sometimes desire exists, but there is no love, and then there is some overlap. So that is my
I
observation.
have to watch NRI Wives to get full clarity about it.
I got to open a map also and then
but you know, honestly, नहीं पर सारे diagrams के अंदर I would say for a marriage, a long-lasting marriage, love and desire have to combine together.
तो प्यार तो होता ही है, जैसे शादी को 10 साल हो गए या रिश्ते को 10 साल 15 साल 20 साल हो गए, बट आकर्षण भी तो हो सकता है. ये मेरी आई कैंडी है, मेरी कोई और आई कैंडी हो सकती है. That doesn't mean I don't love my husband. Yeah, I do love my husband, but so what if I have desires? You know, I mean,
Wow, you can. You know, Bhagyashree ma'am, I really want to know that you have been in this industry since a long time. What has changed from then to now?
Well, for once we were discussing, and what has changed really is us having vanity vans now, which we wouldn't have, and we would be changing in fields and knocking at people's doors कि भाई please हमको कपड़े बदलने हैं या टॉयलेट जाना है, please हमको जाने दीजिए, because we would be shooting outdoors. तो ये सारी चीज़ें दिक्कतें तो होती थी. I also feel that at that point of time, the passion of cinema would be integrated with the relationship between the actor and director, the director and the cameraman, because there was a lot of unsaid language that would happen for a shot to get okay, you know. There was nothing that you could see there and then for, monitors weren't there, so you couldn't ascertain whether this is going to come out right. And a lot of credit was given to, say, showmen like Raj Kapoor, who would not only have their main actors, but पीछे कोई मतलब आदमी चल रहा है, and even the people in the backdrop would have some work to do, and their sequences would be so well detailed. The lighting would be perfect, even for them to come across very clearly on the screen, and everything was so beautiful.
Now?
I mean, now it's there, but everything can be digitally enhanced. It can be corrected. It can be changed. Yeah.
And they correct it, and you can always, that time without monitors, they can do that. That is commendable.
What I find unbelievable now, because I've just shot a sync sound film, that I find is unbelievable now, because उस दौरान dubbing हुआ करती थी, and there was a lot of chance to improvise even our scenes when we would dub a scene. Improvise the way we are saying it, which today, if you're shooting sync sound, the clarity of what you're saying has to be perfect. You have to say it with the same kind of emotion. That's a new era of filmmaking now.
Lastly, talking about NRI Wives, when I saw the trailer, I also read a lot of comments, कि NRI Wives के साथ ऐसा कुछ होता है, वैसा कुछ होता है. They feel very lonely, and ये सारी चीजें. Some people justified it, some people said नहीं ऐसा भी नहीं होता है. There are loyal people also around, and all these things. So, what is your take? And lastly, audience को बताइए इतना जो वो तर्क लगा रहे हैं कि ये
ट्रोलिंग
वाला है. ट्रोलिंग नहीं, अच्छे भी कमेंट्स है. Of course, direction is good, actors, the pairing is different, refreshing. अच्छे कमेंट्स भी है, अलग कमेंट्स भी, जजमेंट्स दे रहे हैं ना, अभी पता नहीं तो क्यों देखनी चाहिए.
ये मेरी आप लोगों से गुजारिश नहीं, ये मेरी जिद है. आप ये फिल्म देखिए, NRI Wives, 3 stories of love versus desire जो 12 मई को थिएटर्स में रिलीज हो रही है. आप सब लोग जाइए, ये मेरी जिद है. अगर आपने नहीं देखी तो घर आके एक लेकिन आप देखिए. ऑल सेड एंड डन, प्लीज वॉच दिस बिकॉज ये एक बोल्ड सब्जेक्ट है, लेकिन इसमें जरा सा भी मतलब बोल्डनेस या न्यूडिटी या whatever you call it is not there. It's a clean film. And then you decide whether ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स में क्या स्किन शो और ये बेडरूम सीन सब डालना जरूरी है या you want a clean.
एक और रीज़न जो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूँगी, देखिए मैं नॉन फिल्म मेकर हूँ. आई मीन एज इन लाइक आई डोंट कम फ्रॉम द फिल्म मेकिंग इंडस्ट्री. ये मेरी कोशिश थी एक फिल्म बनाना, एक बॉलीवुड, एक हिंदी कंटेंट वाली फिल्म बनाने की, टू शो रियल लाइफ ऑफ NRIs. दैट्स द गोल कि आगे हम बनाते रहें ऐसे NRI बॉलीवुड जैसे बोलेंगे. दैट्स द गोल. अगर आपको लगता है कि एक साधारण इंसान को अपनी क्रिएटिव एस्पिरेशंस परस्यू करने का हक है, फिल्म बनाने का हक है, तो यू हैव टू कम एंड वॉच द फिल्म इन थिएटर्स.
ये कहानियाँ बहुत अलग है. इट्स नेवर बीन शोन ऑन स्क्रीन बिफोर. हम हमेशा सोचते हैं कि भाई वैसी कहानियाँ आते हैं. राइटर्स किधर है हमारे बॉलीवुड इंडस्ट्री में जहाँ पर हमें कुछ नया देखने को मिले. तो ये अलग चीज़ है, नई कहानियाँ हैं. एक नया दृष्टिकोण से आप देखेंगे रिलेशनशिप्स को. शायद कुछ सही हो, शायद कुछ गलत हो, लेकिन देखिएगा ज़रूर.
And another thing I would say that please go with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. See it together. I think that's very, very important because the topics we're talking about in the film are some topics which you probably want to talk about but don't really talk about. I think it's must for most people who are in marriage or relationships and stuff. Please take your husband or girlfriend, whatever it is, and see it.
Yeah, maybe your wife and your girlfriend both.
Absolutely.
Very, very thought-provoking
Looking
story.
forward to it, and it was simply awesome talking to you all.
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank
your
you so
time.
much.
You want to add something to it? Love versus desire.
तो प्यार तो होता ही है. जैसे शादी को 10 साल हो गए या रिश्ते को 10 साल, 15 साल, 20 साल हो गए, बट आकर्षण भी तो हो सकता है. जैसे ये मेरी आई कैंडी है, मेरी कोई और आई कैंडी हो सकती है. दैट डजंट मीन आई डोंट लव माय हस्बैंड. I do love my husband, but so what if I have desires? You know, I mean,
Wow, you can.